So last Wednesday, I met President Barack Obama, and by meet, I literally mean the dictionary definition, which is to come into the presence of someone by chance or arrangement, because in all reality, I was probably half a football field from Obama himself. But still, how did all this transpire? How was I, a teenager, able to get so close to the President of the United States? Well, surprisingly, it was actually quite simple. The previous weekend, I was scrolling through Twitter, and I came across a tweet that said President Obama would soon be addressing the City Club of Cleveland, which is a local nonpartisan organization and forum for debate. But the most exciting part of this opportunity is that it's a tradition of the City Club to, during the second half of each program, have the speaker engage in an unscripted live Q&A session with the audience. So I figured, hey, this is my big break. This is my chance to ask President Obama a question that no other member of the media would even dream of asking. So what do? Well, I emailed Dan, CEO of the City Club, because unfortunately, within just an hour of the announcement being made, all 500 available tickets were reserved. Just within a couple minutes, actually, Dan responds, forwarding me an official White House press release detailing the steps how to RSVP as a member of the media for the event. So I was super excited at this point because I applied, and just about an hour after this deadline passed, I was credentialed by the White House to cover this event, which was shocking to me because I figured, well, they obviously must have not done a background check and seen my confrontation with Pelosi, otherwise they wouldn't be letting me in here. So flash forward to Wednesday. It's about 12:30 in the afternoon, and I'm walking the streets of downtown Cleveland, camera equipment in hand. To my left, I see school buses barricading the roads. To my right, I see cop cars blocking alleyways. There's bomb-sniffing dogs, satellite TV trucks. So just by the looks of it, this is a very high-profile event. So I check in at the media check-in desk, and then I proceed through security. Now at security, it's a TSA-like checkpoint. There are agents searching through bags, opening up lenses, etc. And then, of course, they have the magical TSA terrorist finder wand. And while an agent was waving that about my body, he actually reached into my coat pockets suspiciously and pulled out some black mittens I had contained therein, as if they were some explosive devices. And so he examines them for a while, apparently not understanding that in Cleveland in the winter, people carry gloves in their coat. But eventually I was clear and given the okay, so I proceeded to the Ballroom where the event was slated to take place at 3 p.m. I'm preparing my equipment there, but first I make three observations. Firstly, I see that the room is obviously partitioned into two sides, and there are two doors to the room as well. One is for members of the media, and the other is for members of the City Club who got to ask questions, which is kind of ironic as members of the press were not allowed to ask questions. But I even tried going in through the other door in hopes of asking a question, and Secret Service stopped me. Mind you, it probably didn't help. I had a shirt with a large TeenTake logo on it and a press badge on the other side, but a Secret Service agent actually said, "You're not allowed in here, please back away." So being the fragile person of physique I am, I complied, but it was very disappointing nonetheless, and of course these people are very intimidating as well. Now the other two observations I make are that on the glass windows of the exterior wall of this building, they're actually obscured with black fabric, I assume for Obama's safety. And then lastly, I noticed there's a fake American flag plastered on the wall to the left of Obama's podium, so of course photographers can snap some patriotic shots of President Obama mid-speech. So those are a couple observations I make. Now flash forward, Obama eventually arrives, fashionably early. He's remarking on the middle-class economy, and in my opinion, it's nothing more than a campaign speech of how awful Bush's policies were and how awesomely Obama is trying to improve those. So after his 35-minute speech on that, he opens the floor for questions, and I'm super excited because the first three questions he answers, of which he alternates boy, girl, are K through 12 students. So I'm saying to myself, hey, he's obviously targeting the youth demographic, maybe he'll answer my question. Now, of course, I'm on the press partition in the press pen, as they call it, and I'm actually the only reporter to probably naively raise a hand in hopes of Obama answering my question, or at least calling on me. Shockingly, at one point, Obama actually locks eyes with me for a split second, but unfortunately, shortly thereafter, he looks away, saying,
"The young people have got some good questions, so we're gonna get not as younger guy."
So I knew at that point my odds were not looking favorable, but hey, at least I tried. But for the record, my question to the president would have been, and still actively is should he be interested in answering it, Mr. President, how can you accept a Nobel Peace Prize in good conscience when innocent children are dying overseas via drone strikes? You think that would have sent a couple shockwaves, given me a VIP escort out via Secret Service? I think it would have. Obviously, that wasn't my intent. It was simply to ask a legitimate question, but of course, I'm sure it would have been interpreted otherwise. And then finally, as I'm walking out of the event, I overhear a couple presumed Obama supporters, and one of them allegedly just shook hands with President Obama, and as if a teenage girl starstruck by meeting Justin Bieber, who never wanted to wash her hand again, this man said, "I just shook hands with President Obama. Oh my God, Democrat for life." So I found that sort of compounded with this fake environment of windows being sealed up and an American flag being plastered on the wall that's obviously fake. I found all this very representative of the mindset of these voters. Basically, that they base their entire political ideology off the fact of having some intimate connection or tie with these political figureheads. So overall, those are my observations and insights with what it's like to cover a presidential event. If you're a member of the media, don't plan on asking a question because you will be intimidated out of doing so.
And know that this is a place where questions have been asked, very tough questions have been asked of very important people, and that is okay.